Hi, it's Paula. This is Whoever Holds the Stone. Here's the stone. I'm here today, of course, with Richard and
I
Fred.
almost stole that last time.
It's a kidney-shaped stone. So it's like you could say it's a kidney stone.
Okay.
It was a bad kidney stone. This is Frederick Seaton, who is our guest, and we have an
Hello.
additional guest, George, and he will be part of our show tonight. And of course, my son Tom on drums, and we will get started. I wanted to talk a little bit first about. I discovered this guy online, Alex O'Connor, who Richard has his own opinions about. I haven't watched his podcast, though. I've only listened to this Big Think, which is one of my new passions on YouTube. So it's the name of the lecture is The Strongest Arguments Against the Existence of God. So what he said, and I found the whole thing pretty interesting, and I am also an agnostic, so it doesn't rub me the wrong way. But the thing that fascinated me about him is that he took the idea of nihilism, and he said that it is not a modern thing that came from Nietzsche and the death of God and all that stuff and losing spirituality. He said that it started with nihilism, and that nihilism is what caused the invention of God, which I find mind-blowing because it never occurred to me. And he points to Ecclesiastes in the Bible as one source of his conjecture. So I'm just going to read a little bit of it in case you've never been exposed to it. All right. The problem of wisdom. The words of the preacher, the son of David, king of Jerusalem. Vanity of vanities, says the preacher. Vanity of vanities, all is vanity. What profit has a man from all his labor in which he toils under the sun? One generation passes away and another generation comes, but the earth abides forever. The sun also rises and the sun goes down and hastens to the place where it arose. The wind goes toward the south and turns around to the north. The wind whirls about continually and comes again on its circuit. All the rivers run into the sea, yet the sea is not full to the place from which the rivers come. There they return again. All things are full of labor. Man cannot express it. The eye is not satisfied with seeing, nor the ear filled with hearing. It goes on like this. And one of the interpretations of the word that they use for vanity is wind. Everything is wind. Nothing is permanent. Everything, and it's for all for nothing. It's nihilism. It is. And when he said that, I went back in my mind to this beautiful. I love this chapter of the Bible, and I went back to it and I thought, oh my God, he's right. It's a nihilistic approach to life, with one little sentence at the end that says it's all for the glory of God, and then after that it actually says everything I've written here is true. So I mean, for me it was just a
by the way, that contradicts the nihilism, because nihilism is nothing is true, and then you end it with everything I've just said is true.
Well, right, but everything he said is along the lines of nothing has meaning. This has no meaning.
All is vanity. Didn't Shakespeare steal that from the Bible?
Could have.
Yeah,
He could have.
well,
I mean,
the
we're all
sun
influenced.
also rises. I just read that line. That's a Hemingway, isn't it? A book.
That's a Hemingway book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of people steal.
Plagiarism.
The Grapes of Wrath. I mean, that's another one.
Sure.
East of Eden. They went east of Eden when they left the Garden of Eden. So,
Did they
anyway.
go west of Eden?
No.
What happened west of Eden?
I don't know. They
That's
had
the
no
book you're going to write.
East of L.A.
All right, so that is I'm looking forward to listening to this guy's podcast. I may change my mind once I start listening to his podcast, but this particular Big Think, however they edited it, makes him sound really intelligent and accessible. I really liked him a lot.
I've noticed that podcasters can go one of two ways. So, for example, there is this professor, Julian de Medeiros, loves talking about Slavoj Žižek. He likes talking about all sorts of philosophical things.
Mm-hmm.
He did one episode called How to Improve Your Life by reading so-and-so.
Yeah.
Okay?
Did that go well?
Well, that's what I'm getting at. The next podcast, further thoughts on how to improve your life. Now, he only does shows on how to improve your life. He's looking at his views. And if his views are going up, he's going to keep doing that.
Well, yeah, we're all into this whole idea of, not everyone, but into self-improvement, you know.
He gets more money.
Yeah, and people will, those are clickbait things, you know. You always see that stuff on the computer, on Facebook, you know, if you drink this juice, you'll live forever, you know, that kind of stuff. Or,
What's really great about those is that they have this rap coming up to their project, and you have to listen to it for almost a half an hour as they slowly start developing. And finally, half the time you're like, oh, I can't do this. You got to click off of it.
There was one thing that really interested me, and I did listen to it for like a half an hour, and I realized they were just trying to sell me a bunch of vitamins that they are selling themselves.
Exactly.
And I, of course, you know, but it was very frustrating because they make you go through this whole thing where they're hyping it and hyping it and hyping it.
Exactly.
And I won't do that again.
Yeah. After a few times, you get wise.
Yeah.
That'll often appear in Facebook feeds. And how do I know that? Because people send me links to these Facebook videos, and they said, "Oh, I think you would really like this. You know, it's the best way to improve your diet. Watch this video." And the first 5 minutes is all the bad things you can do, and you know what the 6th minute is? Click here to find out how you can change that.
Yeah.
It's going to go to a site that's going to tell you what you have to buy.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's exactly what you're saying, Frederick.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not.
But after a while, you learn a lesson.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah,
You do.
You keep you have to, right. And it's insidious the way they do this. I mean, it's all clickbait stuff. And, you know, they take a celebrity that's somebody that you know, maybe care about because it's somebody that you enjoy watching,
right.
and they make it sound like they've either died or, you know, or and so,
right.
Right. So I don't do that anymore. I know better. But
now they're doing AI celebrities that aren't even the real person, and they're programmed to pretend to be the person.
There's too much AI going on.
And there's a lot of stuff, Richard. There's a lot of stuff on the left too that, you know, like these posts, and I look at them and I know right away it's bullshit. You know, it's just bullshit. It's like they've got Trump doing something that, I mean, Trump would do anything, but it's even too much bullshit for Trump. And when you look at it, it's not coming from a real place.
Right,
you know?
right. It's all fake.
It's all fake.
Fake media.
I mean, the one where he's holding a dog with a gun, he goes, pass this legislation or I'll shoot this dog.
Well, anyway, I was just very excited about it's nothing I'd ever considered that nihilism was predates the Bible. You know, I loved it. It's just another way of seeing, and that's when I find a new idea like that, it excites me because it means that there's stuff I don't know.
Well, I'm sure back in the days of the early man, before there even was a Jesus Christ or even was a Bible, there was always that curmudgeon sitting around the campfire as they're praising the gods in the sky, saying, "There ain't no such thing. I don't believe in it at all." So
there was a lot more. Peer pressure. Do you think we have peer pressure now? You know, like I said a couple shows ago, if your son disregards if you're the father and your son disregards your instructions and doesn't listen to you and keeps being a creepy kid, you take him out to the wall outside and the whole town will stone him. All my friends are dead. At this point, there's not one person I know that doesn't fit that
Speaking of stones,
category.
I'm sure the Rolling Stones would have all been dead by they're still teenagers.
Yeah, that they would have all everybody that's got any kind of alternative ideas would be dead.
Exactly.
And it's protecting the community from that distortion of ideas. And that was, I mean, now at least we can have ideas, you know. But anyway, so we have Frederick Seaton here, who is an artist, and he has brought a couple pieces of art to show us. You want to talk about what you do before you show it, or?
Sure. I'm primarily a surrealist painter, influenced by symbolism also, the period in the mid-1800s, the symbolists, the pre-Raphaelites, the Art Nouveau movement. I still have quite an allegiance to some of the ideas and things that they've done. I became a formal surrealist when I was about 18 years old. I discovered the actual movement, Salvador Dali, Andre Breton, and then I discovered the fantastic realists, Ernest Fuchs, and that group of people. But I was weaned on old EC horror comics as a child. My aunt would give them to me, and I saw quite a bit of those. And then I watched the old Universal horror films. They were an influence. And I discovered reading of Edgar Allan Poe, H.P. Lovecraft, and certain other horror writers, fantasy writers, Lord Dunsany, and all that stuff kind of brewed and fermented in my mind. And I slowly started to try to turn it into a classical style of doing the work based on the old masters, as far as oil painting goes. And that was kind of, how I emerged into where I'm at now.
Why don't you say that, what was his, Andre Breton, his definition of surrealism? Remember how that went?
He said a number of things, but basically surrealism is the process of simulating a reality that is beyond our normal reality, calling it a surreality. And the surrealists were basically influenced by the dawn of the psychiatric world with Freud in the early 20s. And they thought that was a way into the subconscious, was to use automatic influence with writing and painting and poetry and developing a whole new complete way of thinking, which is what surrealism is. But now surrealism is a phrase that is used all the time. That has nothing to do with the formal surrealist movement. It's like, oh, that was so surreal.
Yes.
You wouldn't believe it. It was surreal.
The meaning has changed.
Yeah, it has
The
changed.
meaning is
We have-
completely defunct almost. And there were no reason why it actually became a common media phrase is that when Donald Trump first became president, so many media people said, well, it's surreal. Donald Trump's president. It's such a surreal thing. And the word surreal was the most looked up word on Google that year.
Really?
Because people had no idea what the hell you're
Yeah,
talking
well-
about. And now,
Nobody knows what's, now you got AI kind of
Well, it has,
conflicting.
right.
so anything out of the ordinary is surreal.
Right.
So
And
what I say is, if it's not a tiger walking on a tightrope that's on fire, is wearing a wig hat and saying phrases from the Bible backwards that have to do with obscene phenomenon, while the tightrope's on fire, it's not surreal. It's just different or a little bit odd.
So we've got Celeste Lawson has joined us. Did you let her in, Tom?
I don't see her
Can you let her in or not?
I'll be a minute.
Okay,
I'll
all
let
right.
her in. I'll
All
go
right,
do it.
so Celeste, if you can hear us, we're working on it. So anyway, yes, surrealism is. I know I noticed that they were using a lot of that.
There we go. Our
There we go.
friend Ernst Fuchs, who influenced Frederick Seaton.
That
That's an
doesn't-
example of an Ernst Fuchs painting.
That doesn't look like his work.
Oh, I didn't
Looks
see
like his son, Michael Fuchs. And that's Salvador Dali there.
Yeah, it is. I was going to say,
I don't know if that's Ernest's work.
Maybe you should find a different one, Tom.
Yeah, I would
or
think,
yeah,
I would
look
think
up
so.
Ernest Fuchs.
His son, Ernest Fuchs' son, is not that good
Oh,
of an
that's
artist.
What's the
Same
other,
name as the father?
Michael.
Michael.
Oh.
Michael is the father. Okay,
No,
look up.
Michael is the son.
Oh, Michael's the son.
There's
Okay.
the
There you
real
go.
Ernest
All
Fuchs.
right. Okay. This and so yeah, it looks kind of like a nightmare. You know, I mean, really, that's what
Ernest
I.
Fuchs was a Catholic.
Yeah,
He
we can't get it out of our system. It's
Dali
just
endorsed Catholicism also. I, on the other hand, do not.
yeah. I find I love surrealism because that's the thing about your mind. Your mind is taking all the information that it gets, and when you're dreaming, it's mixing it up like it's like putting it in a blender, and so when it comes out like that. It's a whole different place. Your brain is
almost like no rules. You
synthesizing.
could do whatever.
Yeah,
it's
there's
like
no
infinite
rules.
in the way.
It's
yeah.
just the
that's why we don't remember our dreams
it's
that
the
much.
emancipation of the subconscious.
Right.
Right.
That's-
Before LSD and DMT and drugs, the surrealists, all they had was alcohol, opium, and there was no psychedelic drugs back then for them to take. So they had to go in another way. But I brought something as an example
Okay.
on how I get some of my ideas. It's
Oh, here we go. You're gonna like this anyway. He brought this, but you could do the same thing with your cell phone when you're sitting on the couch. But I don't want to spoil the surprise.
I just got trapped with my microphone here.
Oop.
He's knocking my camera.
Life imitates art.
Thanks a lot, buddy.
Oh crap!
There you go. I thought it was a slingshot at first, but
Well,
then that's me.
how could you not think that's a slingshot?
It is primarily a slingshot. Jesus. So anyway, this idea was originally promulgated by an Italian philosopher. I can't think of his name, but Salvador Dali wrote a book called 50 Secrets of Magic Craftsmanship, which is a very interesting book. A little bit wiggy, but it's quite interesting. So basically, he said there's this thing called slumber with a key. Are we on here? Okay. So basically, you put your hand on it. You take the key, you hold the key, and then you wait till you fall asleep and doze off. And as soon as you fall asleep, your fingers will release the key. And you'll wake up. And during that scant second between dropping the key and falling asleep, you'll have a bit of a dream.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes the dream can be something that can be used to be an image for a painting.
Mm-hmm.
And you do it repeatedly over a course of like an hour. You might have 3 or 4 experiences, and maybe one of those might be a profound part of a dream that you would have never remembered had you not done that exercise.
Well, when I did it the one time, I was just ready to kiss the girl, and they just ruined the whole thing.
Well, they have
Timing is everything, George.
They've
Timing
been
is
doing
everything.
studies. They've been doing studies like that where they'll have the brain hooked up to some apparatus, and when you go into REM, they will wake you up so that you can remember. Because that's the only time you can remember your dreams is when you wake up during REM sleep.
Pretty much, yes.
Yeah. So they're doing those things because they want to examine.
No, not always because of that. No, as soon as you fall asleep and you're not in REM, you can still remember dreams.
Yeah, but when you're dreaming, when you're in REM sleep, that's when you dream, and sometimes you go right into it. But most of the time, there's a wave. But the idea is to wake yourself up while you're dreaming,
Right.
because you can see. Hi, Celeste. We're talking about surrealism.
The world we live in.
Well, yeah, we were talking about the difference between just weird and actual surrealism, the painting style, the art style. So,
Yeah.
we were kind of, so that's kind of where we were at this point. But yes, Frederick Seaton is an artist, and George,
Nice.
whose last name,
Black.
George Black is
I know I look white, but I'm really black.
So George Black is an Elvis interpreter.
among other. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Tribute
I don't
artist.
know what
like
that
to say.
is.
He's a tribute artist. He does
Yes.
Elvis tributes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, got
so
it.
so
Got
we've
it.
got two fascinating people on the show today, and I just we,
I
we have
brought
a,
I
we-
brought another painting.
Okay, let's we're going to look at a piece of
So
Frederick's
not the
work.
camera. How do we?
Yeah, just like
there
that.
you go.
Nice.
So
Wow.
yeah,
May want
A little closer. Just put
So,
it like a
Get
little
closer
to,
to it.
to the camera.
There's a lot. There's a lot of.
There you go. You're
No.
sort of getting
because
it.
your
maybe.
camera is actually over there, right?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Is it?
I'm
You're
sorry.
number 3.
You're
Num-
number 3.
So
Oh.
that's your camera.
Can we get a close up of it?
We
There's lots
can.
of-
We can.
Here.
Yeah, there's a lot of really
Let's see.
small detail in there that'll be lost if we don't do
Mr.
that.
Engineer, can you, when you're available, can you turn on VIN 5?
This maybe you just kind of rotate a little bit to some of the other imagery in it.
Yeah, there's a
There we go. All right.
Awesome.
Oh,
Isn't
yeah.
this better?
yeah, you can see the
Yes.
you can see the individual.
there.
Wow,
You gotta
got a
move
lot
it
of
over a little bit.
got a lot of
yeah.
You
stuff
got it.
in there.
You got it.
So yeah, you have a. This almost reminds me of the Bosch.
Yeah.
Garden of
Yeah,
Earthly
there you go.
Delights.
She's very
Garden of
into-
Earthly
into it.
Delights.
Yeah, the
Right.
Garden of
Yeah.
Earthly Delights. Yeah, except this doesn't look as delightful. Of course, that doesn't really either.
I think the guy with the helmet was having a good time there.
It's very.
That's an oil painting.
It's
Wow.
there's so much detail, and it's
Frederick, how long did that take you, by the way? Do you remember?
yeah. I mean, that's
about a couple months went by the time I got done with it.
That
I worked
seems
on other
very-
stuff in between.
did
but,
Right.
did you take art classes, or are you self-taught?
both my mother and my aunt were artists. I learned most of my stuff from them. I did not have an art major in high school, and I did not go to college
Well,
because I went to UB and I said I want to learn the technique of the old masters. They said, well, we don't teach technique. We just teach you to be creative. I go, I'm already creative. I don't need to pay for that.
well, you know what? That's the
So
thing.
what's the title of that painting, though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's about. This is another one.
What's the title, Frederick? Do you have a title for it?
I do. I forgot what the title is.
An honest answer. It was an honest answer.
That's beautiful. This is that Cleopatra?
No.
It's
Oh, because of the snake.
yeah, because of the
Oh,
snake.
yeah, I would have said that too.
I love snakes.
It's more.
Oh my
it's
God.
So if there
more
was
like.
a snake on the table, no, you'd be okay.
It's
Oh,
more.
yeah.
It's more
Really?
like.
Does it
It's
bother you?
more like Eve and the
Yeah.
temptation.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes. No, as long as it's not poisonous, I'm
Right.
not. I'm not good with poisonous anything.
Yeah, tell that to Tony Mingarella, the guy that owns the big alligator.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
don't-
trying to get
Buffalo?
it back.
I don't know who
You mean
that
a
is.
person in the news who owned an alligator, or
You don't know anything about him?
no? Tell us about him.
Yeah.
Uh,
They went to court about the alligator.
yeah. I was painting the pink flamingo. I was the first person to paint the mural on the pink flamingo. And I was walking by one day, and he was coming out of the pink flamingo, and he had an alligator about this big on a leash. And I stopped to look, and he goes, I know you. You're the guy that painted this stuff. I go,
Is
yeah.
he the guy who had it in his bathtub?
Yeah.
Yeah, that-
Yeah.
Okay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So he goes, hey, you want to see the rest of my pets? I just live around the corner. I'm like, okay. So I jump on the passenger side of his truck, and the alligator jumps up on my lap and sticks his head out the window. I'm like, he goes, he never bit anybody. I raised him from a little tadpole. He never bit nobody. He wants to look out the window.
Alligators are man-eating reptiles.
Yeah, not as much as crocodiles, but they can. So I'm like, okay. So we drive to his house. He's starting to tell me about what he has. He got, well, I got a Gamoon Viper. I got a King Cobra. I got a this, I got a that. I'm like, holy shit. So we get to his house. I go, look, man. Look, I'll stay on the porch. You go in, make sure all your friends are inside of their cages, and then I'll come in. I can see myself walking. And he goes, I think the King Cobra got out. And I'm like, yeah, he's attached to my leg. And I'm like, ugh. So anyway, I did, and it was cool. King Cobra looked me right in the face in his cage. I'm like, holy crap.
Wow.
So
Whatever happened to that reptile? I never.
Well, let me
Oh, I'm
finish the
sorry.
story.
I'm sorry.
So a number of years later, well, I helped him once when his gator got bigger. A couple years later, he goes, "You want to help me with my gator?" I go, "Yeah." So we had 3 guys, and him and me carrying him down the stairs. He's a full-grown alligator at this point, so he could go to the vet. Or I was
Did
carrying the tail. He goes to the vet, and yeah, and he was he would always give him a fish fry on Friday. That was his prize, having a fish fry. And then he was like,
He would
you know,
feed the alligator a fish fry?
yeah. The
Okay.
alligator loved his Friday
Lucky
fish
alligator.
fry. So he's like, another thing, whenever the garbage truck shows up, he goes crazy because the sound of the garbage truck, when it's like doing its thing and the hydraulics, it sounds like a mating call of a female alligator, and alligators go nuts.
Who knew?
Yeah, but here's the clicker though. A number of years later, I'm watching the news. I found out that he got bit by his Gaboon viper
Oh,
when he was feeding it. What happened was he was getting ready to drop a mouse in there, and some buddy of his was standing there watching, mesmerized, holding his glass of wine or whatever. And just before he was ready to let go, the guy dropped his bottle or his glass, and it hit the ground. He looked and involuntarily looked, and the snake went after the mouse and bit him instead, in the wrist. So then he like cut himself open, started draining blood and
So
everything.
it's poisonous. It's a
Oh,
poison.
Gaboon viper is the
yeah.
most poisonous snake in the world.
Okay. Oh,
So anyway, what happened was they took him to the hospital, and they didn't have an antidote because nobody owns a Gaboon viper, evidently. So he's lying in the hospital emergency room, and they put him in a bed, and they say the guy's going to die. And all of a sudden, this old nurse is like watching his, monitors, and she's like, "This stuff is starting to spike. This guy might live." And they all freak out, "Oh my God!" So they sent to New York City for an antidote, and he survived. Yeah. But anyway, then he started fighting his permit was expired. He tried to renew it. They didn't renew it. And now he's still fighting to get possession of his full-grown alligator, Al, who's now
Al the alligator.
Al the alligator.
well, the alligator looked like it was in pretty bad shape. But,
He was blind.
the,
I knew that
television
much.
images of it,
Yeah.
it looked like he needed some attention.
Exactly.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
So
it's kind of.
it's still being litigated in court.
Yeah.
So. Anyway, but yeah, I was part of that experience. It was
Wow.
crazy.
I don't.
I
Interesting.
want to go back to the painting though. I don't know enough about the painting.
I see you got a whole big painting behind you there.
It's
Looks
quarter
like
panel.
Picasso to me. Is that Picasso? No.
No, it's a young guy from Chicago, and it's 4 panels on acrylic.
Ah,
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't even know the guy. I just was fascinated by.
Yeah, it's a beautiful painting.
Right.
Interesting.
So, but
I use I use
the still
acrylic sometimes, but I try not to. I much prefer.
dries too fast.
I much prefer oil. It's much
Yeah.
a better medium.
But what's the story behind the painting that you held up that looked like, I don't know, one of Dante's levels of something?
There's all kinds of things going on in it. There's like the mouth of hell in one corner. There's all kinds of industrial buildings that are causing pollution. It's more of an allegory on what's wrong with the world as opposed to what's right with it to a certain
okay.
extent. Although there's this main celestial figure in the center, it's like a type of cherub that is a religious symbol, but it's not a standard religious symbol. It's more of a wondrous creature of God that to look at it would cause you to almost go blind. It's so unearthly.
Is it something that you were inspired or something you made up?
I made it up completely. Yeah. And also, there's a woman there with her child. They're both dead because of warfare. And it's just basically an allegory. But I have many paintings that are not allegories. They're simply there because they're hallucinatory.
If someone wanted to see some of your work, is it displayed somewhere?
Right now, the only place you can see the work, if you put my name in Google, you come to Fine Arts America. I've got pieces on there that you can look at that you can buy prints of, or you can have it printed on your case for your iPhone or whatnot. And that's the most immediate access. I'm hoping to put up an actual website of my own.
Yeah.
I'm going to have AI help me.
Me and Frederick are going to work stuff. We're going to try to at least get on YouTube and stuff like that.
Yeah, George
working
has
on.
got quite a film background of his own. And we're starting to work on a documentary before he moved to on myself before he moved to Florida. So now that he's back, we're going to make an actual documentary on me as an artist that we hope to make it professional enough to send it to Cannes Film Festival and see what they think. If they
Well, that would be
Yes,
great.
indeedy.
That would be great.
you know.
So are
And-
you impersonating someplace now?
I've just been back here in New York just a few days. I didn't really have a chance to, just trying to get situated and acclimated to everything. Eventually,
Oh,
But I'm
where
kinda-
were
I'm
you?
kinda-
Where were you? Where were you?
I was in Southeast Florida, but I performed pretty much the whole state: the East Coast, West Coast, the Keys, up north.
And
Yeah.
you were saying that you had gotten some airtime on television down in Florida.
No, up here I did.
Oh, up here. Okay.
Channel 10.
Oh, all right.
I was on Channel 10, simultaneously broadcasted in Buffalo and Lockport.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
But
So when did you become an Elvis guy?
Well, it wasn't really planned. It was St. Valentine's Day, and I went to dinner with my mom, and I just excused myself to the old bathroom when I saw an Elvis guy getting ready. They was using that as his green room, and I did a lot of theater costuming back then. I was just kind of intrigued by the whole jumpsuit thing. I thought, gee, I never did that before. Let me try it out. So I went about doing that, and then I realized I got kind of an Elvis voice, so it kind of worked out from there.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
George
strange
is,
how that
George is almost a master tailor.
almost.
Wow.
He was my friend. I thought he was my friend, and he embarrasses me. No.
No, that's a
Well, you've
an
never done it.
extraordinary
You've
talent.
never done it professionally, just as a tailor.
Oh, yes, I have.
Have you really? Oh, okay.
I did professional theater too.
Ah,
Theater of Youth, Studio Arena.
Oh, wow,
A
yes.
lot of community.
if
Amherst players,
you can think it, he could sew it. That's for sure.
Wow.
Very cool.
except for S&M, but the money's right. I'm willing to learn.
Well, you know, you guys.
I
made
do
me
have
think
a
of,
leather- I do
Zac
have a leather
Brown's
sewing
new
machine.
show.
I'm sorry.
I do have a
I said
leather
the two-
sewing machine.
I don't know who
no,
that-
I was.
I'm sorry, honey.
Yeah,
Speak.
yeah. I was asking Celeste. What did you say?
Between the two of them, I was thinking about Zac Brown's new show at the Sphere, his residency at the Sphere. So he's a country and western star, as we all know, but this residency, the country music fans are freaking out because it has, well, you're talking about surrealism, moments where it looks like they're calling it, satanic, because he had a shadow figure and flames looking like descending into some hellish landscape. I mean, it was a shock to the system.
Well, it's a
And he had a silver bone crown on, and it was really
Well, you could go to a lot of different directions. There's not going to be strictly exclusive Satanism. There could be anything. It
Well,
could be
yeah, but- and
that was
Catholicism
kind
for
of
all
his
you know.
thing. He was talking about his life journey, right? And his struggles, and he was using that sphere vehicle because of its extraordinary technical capacity
yeah.
to do stuff. So he was trying this. I've
Who's
only
Zac
read
Brown?
about it. I'd have to Google some images to see, but I like Zac Brown. So I thought, boy, that's an interesting left turn.
But who is Zac Brown?
I think he's a comedian.
No, he's a country and western singer.
Oh, country
Yeah.
western. That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So
I know.
so that's, that's very Christian.
Beyonce's been accused of Satanism.
Well, I guess he's talking about it as the struggles in his life. He thought it was very intimate and personal. I mean, there were also some sentimental highlights and salutes in it. But I think because it seemed to start with the scary sort of demonic thing, because he said, I'm not doing that. I'm talking about, the struggles we faced.
Yeah, those
No,
deep,
how-
dark
Well,
places
that
that,
whole-
we
the
go
whole-
into.
Exactly. We
That-
have the
that-
light side
that-
and the dark side of life.
Yeah, exactly. That whole thing about the light and the dark of life is because
Yes.
it's called the shadow. Jungian
Yes.
philosophy and Jungian understanding call it the shadow. It's a part of us that we deny, and it's there. And if we don't sublimate it, it's going to slowly increment itself into almost like a pimple. So
Yeah.
we have to endorse it and then sublimate it. And most people deny it,
Yeah.
particularly religious organizations. There's a whole black and white thing, the devil and God is a complete confrontation. It's not that. That is not true.
Absolutely, absolutely. That I know that whole Jungian thing, and you're supposed to embrace it without your dark side, without giving it license.
Right,
You're supposed
exactly.
to accept it and get on with the rest of your
You
life.
sublimate it,
Yeah.
basically.
So I want to go. I want to take a turn over here to George. He brought a couple CDs that he has that he wanted to talk about his music a little bit. So go ahead, George.
All right. Well, the latest CD, George Black Label.
You want me to show it on the big screen?
Yeah, if you could, it doesn't matter.
Okay,
But
we're
yeah.
ready for the
But-
overhead, Tom.
Yeah. It's primarily blues.
We got to do a little zooming in
Oh boy.
because we have a smaller painting
I
here.
hope I didn't have a big
Okay,
hair
ready.
day at the time. But yeah, it's it was
George
just
Black,
just
Black Label.
released just past summer.
Cool.
Nice.
Black Records. It's 10 tracks, a lot of blues stuff.
Is that a version of you?
Yes.
Okay.
Version. I like that way. Put that version.
What version is that?
Well, I wasn't sure if you were a promoter.
Well, actually, to be honest, this was more like a Johnny Cash promo shoot because I do Johnny
Yeah.
Cash also. But it was such a good shot that I included on my.
So
Yeah.
I'm getting the
Right.
impression that you're willing to change your appearance to get a point across.
Then there's Disco El Disco. That's a mashup artist thing I do where I do hit disco songs, but
Disco.
sing it with Elvis lyrics.
That's
Boogie Wonder Don't.
that is
And that's how it sort of appeared, almost exactly the way I'm dressed there at
Boogie Wonderdome.
my television
yeah.
Instead of Boogie Wonderland, right?
Boogie Wonderland.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of radio shows here, out in
Yeah.
New York City, out in Florida.
Yeah, well,
Promoting that
what
stuff.
is your what is your where does your heart take you in music though? What is your heart all about?
My heart is always the original music. I mean, I do this kind of novelty stuff, of course, because novelty stuff sells.
Yeah.
of course.
So is that original music on that?
Everything's original.
On both of them.
Yes, yes,
It's original music.
yes, yes.
It's not you're not doing takes on other. Oh,
Well,
interesting.
maybe not, of course, the mashup stuff.
Yeah.
And he
That's
plays,
what you're trying to play,
He
but
plays all the instruments himself.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's pretty impressive. So how many instruments do you play?
Predominantly like 6, 7 instruments, somewhere around there.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is quite amazing.
Wow.
Yeah. Plus you're writing music.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I went to music college, Buffalo State College.
You went
I
to
was in the
Buffalo
Buffalo
State,
State College
yeah.
Orchestra. Flute was my primary instrument at the time.
Jethro Tull.
We were just talking about him before. But
People used to compare
first-
me to him back in the day.
Really?
Because I had long hair and
Yeah.
I wore
they look like
similar
twins.
clothes.
Yeah, it looks like Ian Anderson. That was my first concert I went to.
Oh, really?
Jethro Tull.
Jethro
Was it
Tull.
really?
Awesome. Do you remember what year that was by any chance? I'm just
Yeah,
curious.
I do. It was in the early 70s. It was,
Was
like,
that the Odd?
yeah, it was at the Odd.
I was at that
Oh.
concert. Yeah.
I was there
you
with
probably sat right near Frederick without even realizing.
my mother's tenant, because we had a 2-family house in Lovejoy. He just got back from Vietnam, and he asked me if I wanted to go to this. I was 14 or 15, and my mother said, "Oh, you're going with an adult. You can go."
There you go.
That must have been awesome.
It was awesome.
And ticket prices back were like $7, $6.
It was ridiculous.
So
yeah.
low
So
compared to today.
I had gotten so high that I couldn't. When I got up to go to the bathroom, I didn't know where I was. I didn't know if I was actually on my way to the bathroom, if I was in my seat wishing I was going to the bathroom,
Yeah.
or if I was at home thinking that, and this was a big dream. So I'm lucky I didn't go to the bathroom right there because I didn't know where I was. It was, but I made it back to my seat. I don't know how. I
No,
do
you're
not know.
talking about ticket prices. I saw Led Zeppelin, their first American tour. They played at Kleinhans Music Hall,
Wow.
and tickets were like $4.50. That was amazing.
1968, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they had some opening act, which they kind of sucked. They weren't good at all. And years later, I found out the opening act should have been Jethro Tull. But Ian
Wow.
Anderson got disgruntled,
Oh.
and they left the tour before they played Buffalo. I would have seen Tull like 2 years
Well,
earlier.
that would have been
had
memorable.
had they stayed. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you saw Led Zeppelin that first time,
Yeah.
did you think they would become as big as they did?
Well, I liked them. I owned the record. I thought they were like, the best things in sliced bread. But as far as how they would progress from that point, I didn't have a clue.
My version of the story from watching the Led Zeppelin documentary is that Jimmy Page was a session musician who was so in such high demand that producers, when they would go into a studio and they would, have their band
Exactly.
record
yeah.
it, they would always call him. We
Yep.
don't like our guitar player. Will you come in, play the parts, but then we'll pretend that our guitar player did it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
And it
God.
happened so many times that Jimmy Page realized he had power. So he went to
Yes.
all these record companies and he said, "I want to form a group, but I want to have complete say. Do you want to sign me? You know I can play.
Well,
Yeah.
he's with the
You're
Yardbirds.
always calling
Yeah, 'cause
me,
you call me every day.
but now I've got terms." So he found
Yeah.
a record company that would agree to all of his terms. So he said, "I'm going to start putting out albums where even though they're separate songs, it's all one gigantic concept." It was unheard of.
Yeah.
But they had to agree to it because, they agreed.
And then he got
Yeah.
into the Yardbirds.
No, that's
No, this is Zepp-
afterwards.
This is Zeppelin. That's how Zeppelin got
Yeah,
formed.
but he's what Fred's saying. Jimmy
Oh,
Page
you're-
was in the Yardsburg
That's
before
true.
But
that.
you're saying Jimmy Page came up to that concept after the Yardbirds.
Correct.
Right.
But he was a sessions player way before he was in the Yardbirds.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was. That I didn't know that story about him. That not using his name, but saying.
No, I didn't know that either.
And know who named Led Zeppelin?
I used to know. Who did?
Keith Moon.
Oh.
Because Keith Moon found out that him and Plant were putting a band together. And Keith Moon's like, what? Oh, yeah, it's going to go like a lead balloon. And they heard that he had said that. And
Yeah.
they said,
Oh, that's
lead balloon.
perfect.
Okay,
Led
we'll call
Zeppelin.
ourselves Led Zeppelin.
So there's a documentary put out with the members of Led Zeppelin last year. Nothing derogatory is said about the band. Not a single word of all the lawsuits where they ripped off people.
Yeah, like Stairway to Heaven would be a prime
That is
example.
not even mentioned.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's so whitewashed that it's pathetic, really.
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, if they're the producers and the directors or whatever, then they're not going to put the bad stuff in.
Nothing about all the women who, I want to have sex with a rock star,
Yeah.
who were disgruntled because they found out Jimmy Page is into S&M,
Oh,
where
I didn't know that either.
where he
I
performs.
miss so much in my small little
I know.
planet
I could say,
Paula.
gee, I didn't hear that. All I know that he's supposed to be one of the greatest guitarists that ever lived.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah,
that's
and-
how I know him.
So
right.
it is one of those documentaries where its absence is felt
Yeah.
of the facts.
Yeah.
So did they talk about Jimmy Page's involvement in the OTO and Aleister Crowley?
None of that.
None of that at all.
None of that is mentioned.
Wow.
He owned Aleister Crowley's mansion in Scotland, Boleskine House.
What was that other guy from L.A.? What the hell is his name?
I don't know.
Oh, Jesus.
What did he do?
Well, him and Jimmy Page got in a little
Oh, Kenneth Anger.
Kenneth Anger. Thank
The
you.
filmmaker Kenneth
Yes,
Anger.
yes.
Yeah.
They had a disagreement.
Yeah, something went
All
on.
the film
and-
footage got hidden in the desert, buried underground. That's a bit of a disagreement.
yeah, they had words against
Kenneth
each other.
Anger was making a film about Jimmy
No,
Page?
no. Jimmy
No,
Page
no.
did the soundtrack for one of Kenneth Anger, Lucifer Rising.
I
Yes,
see.
Lucifer Rising.
And there was some kind of contractual problems. I mean, probably drugs were involved. Who knows? But Kenneth Anger got pissed and took all the footage and buried it somewhere in the desert, and then forgot
Oh,
where it
wow.
was. And it was like about 11 years later, they finally found where the stuff was and dug it up. That's like the
Rock and roll.
yeah.
Yeah.
Does anybody know who Dante Gabriel Rossetti was? Anybody?
From the Renaissance.
No.
No.
No?
Pre-Raphaelites, 1800s.
Oh.
He painted Beatrice. Well, the model for his painting of Beatrice, who was Dante's muse, Beatrice, he had a poem dedicated to the model. And it was an incredible poem. But the woman that posed was Elizabeth Siddal, and when she died, he took the poem and put it in the grave with her. And then years later, people like, it's a great poem. You should dig it up. So they exhumed her, and he revived his poem and then published it. True story.
You didn't make a
Wow.
carbon copy?
Not in the 1800s.
Yeah, I guess not. Just have a monk copy it for you.
Wow.
Well, okay. So
I have another
This is
painting
the
here.
last
Oh.
note on Jimmy Page. I guess I saw somewhere. Like in the last couple of days. I don't even know why I looked at that and now you guys are talking about it. But I guess he's in his 80s now, and he did a concert that was a tribute to Led Zeppelin, and I guess the crowd went crazy. Just to see him show up.
I'm
Let-
sure.
Robert Plant and Jimmy Page and John Paul Jones were offered almost $500 million to reform Led Zeppelin for a tour, and they refused. They said, "No, we're not going to do that."
Well, that's
That means that
Wow.
they're very financially set.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Mick Jagger was offered $30 million just to have somebody follow him around for a year so he could ask him questions
Hello?
and write his biography.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Mick Jagger said, I don't want to
Okay.
be bothered.
I
You got to be
You're
really
outside now.
set
Well,
to turn
yeah.
down $30 million.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
I'll
true.
step
And,
out.
and
That's
Keith
true.
Richards
Someone
is
is
still
gonna
alive.
Run to the door.
Okay, I know. It's amazing.
Mick Jagger
How did
is-
that happen?
Are they going to be
Doctors.
touring? They're going to be touring till they drop dead. I don't know.
I know
How's
we
that
talk
gonna
about
go?
that all the time. If somebody would have told us, 50 years ago.
I got to take a break a minute.
Oh,
Okay,
okay,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
I'll be right back.
50 years ago, that the Rolling Stones were still be touring. We wouldn't have believed it.
Probably
Yeah.
not.
It would be ridiculous.
But there's no more icons anymore. You just name me one icon from 1990 till now. I mean, there's no structure in the music business
Well,
anymore.
there's a lot more people. So the
Tom Waits is still
the
alive.
audience is dispersed. I mean, there's a lot of good music out there, but it's not like
Another painting.
I don't know. I can't think
just-
of anybody.
you're handing it to
well,
me?
there were people like Prince.
Oh,
and
there's the painting you referenced by Dante Gabriel Rossetti.
That's one of them. He
There
did
you
a
go.
number of them.
Yeah.
I like all the red in it. It's
Obviously, there's a lot of symbolism.
There's
yeah.
a lot
The
of
books
halos.
mean something,
But
right?
pre-Raphaelites were basically symbols.
Usually, you don't see books in a holy painting.
Really?
Oh, interesting.
And yet
never
there's
thought
a
of that.
bunch of them.
Because
I
the
like
books,
the
books
little
were
halo.
not, yeah.
I like the little halos. Those
Yeah.
those are cute.
People were not encouraged to read
Frederick
except for the
wants us to
Bible.
look at this painting of his.
Yeah, it's the most complex one
Oh.
I've done so far.
Whoa!
Well, I guess we.
Those are close-ups,
Yeah, close-ups of
but the actual painting's on the other page.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the one you want to see?
Well, it's the same painting. The
Oh,
others
okay.
are
Yeah, just-
close-ups.
There's close up.
So show the whole painting, then show the close-up.
Okay. I'm ready.
I think we need to you have to take it down.
Okay, somebody operate the Zoom since I'll be holding this.
Okay,
Point it at the ceiling.
So point it at the ceiling, and it's this thing,
It's the rocker switch.
the rocker switch, and I'm supposed to be going. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, there
you
you
go.
go. Now you got it.
No, we're still on the close-up.
The next, you just
Okay, so I got to
just,
go
there
here.
you go.
There
That's
you
it. That's it.
go.
Okay. So
Got it.
yeah, very.
And that's a life-size painting.
Witchcraft.
And
Wow.
it's the Scarlet Priestess.
Yeah.
The title is Scarlet Priestess, Your Spirit Suffers Alone Amongst the Disease and the Delight is the actual title. You're getting shine. There you
Yeah,
go.
it's from the.
Yeah.
It's from
The
the
lighting.
paper, the plastic
Thank
covering
you.
it.
Is there something about witchcraft where there's a
Witchcraft you talking about?
well, where there's a underlying idea we want to scare you? Because that's a scary painting.
Oh, that. Yeah, I think that.
That painting originally was based on The Rite of Spring by Igor Stravinsky. Whereas in The Rite of Spring, the actual log of the structure of it is that it's a fertility rite, pre-Christian fertility rite, and the lead dancer dances herself to death as a sacrifice to the gods of fertility. That was originally the concept of it, and then I became more intrigued with the occult, with the OTO and witchcraft, and it became something more deeper than the Stravinsky thing. So that painting was in the lobby of the Kleinhen's Music Hall because they're doing the Rite of Spring.
Oh.
And I got permission to hang the painting in the lobby. So about an hour before I was going to leave to go to the concert, I got a phone call from Kleinhen saying, "Oh, Mr. Seaton, your painting, it's a bit too disturbing. We're going to have to put it in another room, and it's not going to be profiled." I said, "Really?" And I would have protested. The reason I didn't was I just had gotten back with my ex-girlfriend, and I didn't want to cause any flaps with her. And I should have. I should have put a complete protest up, but I didn't. So basically, the Rite of Spring caused a scandal when it was first performed.
Yeah.
So
that's
my
right.
painting about the Rite of Spring caused a scandal about the Rite of Spring. But when I met Joanne Falletta and told her the story, she goes, "Well, if I ever do the Rite of Spring, your painting will be in the lobby."
Well, they did the ballet, right? In that piece, there's a section of it where the women dancers are just jumping straight up and down. They're just jumping, terrorizing, and their eyes are wide.
Wow.
It was with the Ballet Russe and Nijinsky at that time.
Nijinsky, right.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah.
I know a little bit about the scandal for the original Rite of Spring.
Yeah.
The promoter's name was Sergei Diaghilev.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Yes.
And so they performed it, and of course, it's a premiere. So you put out the advertising, and people come to see it, and it's being performed. And one guy stands up in the audience. He goes, "This is not art. What are we watching? This is fake. This is not real art." And somebody else stands up and says, "Shut up. If you don't like it, get out of here." And they go and they start an actual fist fight.
Yeah. There's a huge
Yeah.
scandal.
And now Prokofiev doesn't know what to do.
Prokofiev.
What's his name?
Stravinsky.
Stravinsky doesn't know what to do. He says, he looks off to the side and he looks at Diaghilev. Keep going, keep going.
Absolutely.
So of course he keeps going, and then after it was all over, Stravinsky went up to him and said, "We got to have bouncers at the door or something to make sure that doesn't happen again." You know what Diaghilev said? He said, "I hired those two people." And Stravinsky said, "Why?" And he said, "We're going to have standing room only for the next 6 months."
Right.
Oh my God,
Cause a
He's
sensation.
a smart guy because he
And
was
Stravinsky never forgave him for that.
Yeah.
Isn't that something?
That's
But
it.
what-
I'm not a sideshow act that you have to
Yeah,
promote
yeah.
that way.
But the irony of it all is that the Rite of Spring by Stravinsky is considered to be the most premier, groundbreaking avant-garde piece of classical music of the 20th century
Yeah.
at this point.
Yeah, but it wasn't accepted at the time.
No,
and the
not at all.
even with the Impressionists.
Oh.
Yeah.
With the Impressionists first were included in the big Parisian shows. People broke out in fights because they didn't think it was art.
Like Debussy, people hated Debussy. Like, what is this stuff? Oh my God! And
Yeah.
by comparing
at that
comparing
time, all
Debussy
that
to
stuff was happening. Think about Afternoon of a Faun, L'après-midi du Faun, and that was another.
Scandalous.
That era, that time was
that was scandalous.
edgy.
That piece.
yes, yes.
And so there was something in the air or the water. We don't know.
Well,
But something was happening.
basically, that whole movement, the Art Nouveau movement, the Pre-Raphaelites, the Symbolists, they're basically hippies of the 19th century. pretty
Well,
much. It was a
it's-
cultural
it's-
revolution.
It's funny.
Even with drugs, opium, Satanism, alternative religions, all that stuff was practiced back then.
It's funny you should say that because I had a friend, Ed. Ed Beard was a very elderly gentleman, and I met him on a train. And Ed Beard loved classical music, and he hated rock and roll. And
I know a guy like that.
And I used to, and to bring it back to Led Zeppelin, I said, if the people that you listen to in the classical music, if Mozart, if Beethoven, if they were around now, they'd be in Led Zeppelin.
yes.
And I'd say Led Zeppelin is the Mozart and the Beethoven of our time. And
Yeah.
You might say that.
and so I mean, he had a closed mind when it comes. And it's funny because he has a son whose name is also Ed Beard, and he is a big rock.
Does he have a beard?
They have no beards. No,
beard.
no. Actually, Ed Beard did have a beard. He
There
had
you
a,
go.
He had a
All
goatee. He was very colorful. He came here once.
Sure.
So yeah. So that it's a mindset.
I know an antique dealer, and he has no understanding, and he's only a couple years older than I. He has no understanding of popular music, rock music. He doesn't even know who the Rolling Stones are. He never even heard of them. So he's just clueless. Everything to him is classical style, but only classical style from like Vivaldi up to Bach, and it doesn't even go as far as Beethoven. It's just so narrow of a view of music. It's like you got the most repressive understanding of music of any person I know.
Yeah.
That argument stands true. When I think about Paula talking about the music, that's sort of my standing position with so many of the historical preservationists and these old buildings. It's like, yeah, well, you got to make room for something new. I mean, and the big discussion was about H.H. Richardson at the time. And I was like, yeah, supposing everybody stood up and said, oh, no, we hate H.H. Richardson. It's made by the French. Let's get rid of it. We'll never build it. And now you revere it. You have to
Just because it's old doesn't mean it's great.
No.
But-
And the old at one point was new.
Yeah.
And that's the whole point.
Yeah, but as far as restoration of buildings and tearing them down, at one point under the Griffin administration, His Honor, actually they had a proposal to tear down the old post office, which became ECC South.
Oh, it's a beautiful
Oh,
building.
yeah.
They actually were thinking of tearing it down and turning it into a parking lot.
Well, that's America.
So
for
you can go completely crazy with administrative properties, not understand anything about historical buildings.
Yeah. Well, that's why that balance is needed. We do need to preserve beauty,
Yeah.
but you have to make room.
Well, you know what?
I mean, look at Frank Gehry and some of the stuff he did.
I Pittsburgh is a good example.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh, they have saved some of their beautiful old buildings, but they have right next to them, they have these gorgeous glass buildings where it reflects the old buildings in
Yes.
the facade. And they've
Yes.
also cleaned up the old buildings, so everything, it looks sparkling, even though part of it is old and part of it is new. And it's a spectacular city. I love
Yeah.
Pittsburgh.
So would
Yeah.
you two be in favor of the glass pyramid in front of the Louvre?
Yeah.
I've been there and I like it.
Yeah, I like
Okay.
it too.
I would only be in favor of it. It will sharpen my razor blade.
We've
You know
got-
why? Because that's plaza where it is.
Yeah.
There's so much activity happening. There's artists on the ground. There's people having picnics. They're rollerblading.
And we've
it's
got 30,
connected to
35
contemporary-
seconds.
34
Just Richard, we didn't even get to your list. We'll have to
no.
do a whole Richard list.
So when Diaghilev died, they
Yeah.
said to Stravinsky, "You got to come to the memorial, please. Say something. Say so." And finally, he said, "Okay, but it'll be brief." And he got up and said, "He was a scoundrel, a cheat, and I hated him." But he's
Did he say that?
dead now, so let's all will be forgiven.
Wow.
I love people. All right, so we got 6 seconds left. 4. Thank you, Richard. Thank you, Tom, and thank you
Happy New Year.
everybody for participating. It was great. Thank you.